Call it spring, like everything is new. The sunburst flowers calling on Monday's overdue. But I call like everything.
Do you want to be on Mommy's video? What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. This week is going to be a little bit different. Not any helpful tools necessarily, but I am going to be talking about my life, what's been going on. I haven't been working out. What the heck is the deal with that? And I just feel like I'm always really vulnerable and honest with you guys on Instagram, and I have been for the past 4 years, 3 or 4 years, just about like what's going on in my life, and just connecting with you guys in an honest way. So, and I just think that this video is really important because I've had more and more new clients that come on board and they're like, how do you do it? Like, how do you just like enjoy working out? And I'm like, have you been reading my posts? Because I haven't been working out. I hadn't been tracking my food. I just, no, it's normal life, and we all go through shit. We all have periods of time that just suck. And I feel like, hold on, I need to unbutton these because while I sit down, it's gonna suffocate me. Okay, that's better. So, yeah, let's get started. I think mainly what I want to talk about is this year in general. Aside from business stress, and I'm going into my second year as a business owner of functional nutrition fitness and having a team of coaches. And in the beginning, that wasn't really identified as the stressor for me because I enjoy it so much. But it was never really the plan to hire coaches or to have a team of coaches. It wasn't ever really the plan to have hundreds of clients in our system. I really just wanted to do nutrition coaching by myself. And when things got a little bit out of control and I was wanted too often by clients, one of my friends was like, why don't you start a company? Like, why don't you hire us? And I have some friends that are nutrition coaches, and she's like, why don't you hire us? Why don't we all work together? And why don't we, I'm here in my mouth. Why don't we all work together? Why don't we make this into a company? And I was like, a company? Like, I barely knew how to start an LLC when it was just me. Like, what do you mean? What am I gonna do? So one thing led to another, and I am happily here with a team of coaches and a whole platform for coaches to take on clients and really have a different approach compared to some other nutrition coaching companies as we do journaling and mindset work with all of our clients. Before I knew it, I was kind of waking up to a multitude of emails and text messages and DMs on both accounts, and a lot of things to do, things that I wasn't really thinking would take up so much time, as far as like taxes and filing different things for coaches that live in different states, and just the amount of different things that I was going to take on, I really didn't think would make me that stressed out. I've always been able to handle a high amount of stress. I've always been one of those people that loved working out at 5 a.m. and getting up at 4 a.m. or just being an early riser. I've always been that way. I love to challenge myself to get as much done as I possibly can in a day. And suddenly I started to feel tired, like really tired. I started to have digestion issues. I was only pooping like once a week, and TMI, but that was a big sign for me. I started to really just kind of feel sad and lonely and isolated from people, like I went from working a job surrounded by a really awesome team of people that I loved so much, and I clocked in and out with them every single day in the same building, and there was a strong community around that workplace. And then I went to like work at home by myself, and the only form of communication that I had with people was the barista at our local coffee shop, and just like on text message through our client system, my phone and Instagram, so like that was my main source of communication. And yes, it's talking to people and I loved it, but I would go to the gym and I would feel like I wasn't a real person. it'll be a miracle if I make it through this video without crying. This year has been a lot. And a lot that, you know, I went from being really stressed out about work, and then I would go to the gym and I was trying to like work out as normal, you know, like when I first started FNF and my days got longer and busier and I was spending like 9 to 10 hour days at the coffee shop working. I wasn't working out during that period, you know, but it was like I wouldn't work out and then I'd work out one random day and then I wouldn't work out. I worked out one random day. Like this was kind of like weekly or every other week. And I was trying to like keep it together in that sense. But as time went on, like I was just sleeping all of the time. And I didn't want to get out of bed and I didn't want to do work anymore. Like I just kind of resented everything really quick. And one day I went back to the gym and I'd been talking to Max about how I was feeling, but you know, he was just like, Katie, it's new and you're stressed and you started a business and you're crushing it, you know, like, of course things are gonna change. Of course you're not gonna feel amazing. Like, just check the box every day. Just go to the gym. Like, you'll feel so much better. Like, cut out that time for you. Well, I was walking into the gym and I'd be like replying to comments, replying to DMs, and I'd go into the gym, I'd leave my phone on the counter. And in the middle of my workouts, I started feeling like I couldn't breathe. And not just like, you know, this workout's really hard, I can't breathe. Like, almost like somebody had like two hands like wrapped around my neck, like choking, and I'd be kind of like wheezing on the inhale, and I would be like so frustrated that I couldn't even work out, and I would just start crying, and then my crying I couldn't breathe crying, and I would just, whether I would go to the bathroom mid-workout or I would walk out in the middle of the workout or I would just suffer through and cry during the workout. This is what was happening. And at first I wasn't sure what was going on. Like I was like, maybe I'm PMSing, maybe I'm just emotional. I don't really know. And I was journaling about it. I had been talking to my friends out loud about it, and I'd been talking to Max about it. And it just kind of seemed like the same conclusion. Like, I'm stressed and I just need to filter out my stress and I need to just get back in the groove of working out. I'll feel so much better. And it just kept happening and it kept getting worse. I started to feel it in my heart and my chest and my neck and my head when I was working out. I started to feel dizzy and lightheaded and so many different symptoms, and it was just crushing me. Like I felt like I used to feel so fit and I used to crush it during class, and this used to be my favorite part of my day. So why wasn't this my favorite part of my day? It was just like the worst feeling in the world. So I stopped working out and I kind of just wrote it off. Like I was like, I'll try and move, like I'll try and do certain things and see how it goes. And I would like, you know, go to a different workout, tell myself just like slow down and to just breathe, and it just still wasn't working out. I still was starting to feel like that anxious feeling, like I couldn't breathe. So I took some time off. I did a little bit more meditation and yoga stuff, and those things were definitely helping, but I wanted to work out so bad. So during all this, I had also obviously been on trying to keep my business going and trying to keep things together in the sense that like, I'm a nutrition coach. I need to lead by example. I'm gonna get this stuff together. I'm gonna manage my stress. I'm gonna go back to the gym. The goal is to just feel better and really crush it again, right? And just move because I want to feel in shape and I want to be in optimal health, right? And I was so jealous and having FOMO of my friends that were still working out, my significant other that was working out, other nutrition coaches that were working out. I mean, it was the worst feeling in the entire world. It was the worst feeling to feel like I'm letting my clients down, to feel like I'm not leading by example, to feel like an imposter, that I'm not taking care of my health. And that was really tough. That was a lot of journaling work about, you know, like who am I outside of FNF, and who am I outside of being a nutrition coach, and what is important to me, and what truly is leading by example for me. And I was rooting down in this, and this started to feel better. I was, journaling about what would I want my client to do in this scenario? And that always came back to, I would want my client to take time off and to de-stress and to try and find themselves outside of fitness. So I started to take my own advice. I started to detach from F&F a little bit. I started to not keep in touch with the coaches above and beyond. I started to not take as many client calls. I started to not post as much content to the F&F page. And this was really supportive for a little while. And this definitely helped me so that I could just focus on myself. And I started to feel better. And I started going to the gym again a little bit. And I started to feel good. And then my health kind of rocked me in a different way for about 2 months, and that's something that I'm still staying private about, just because of me and my significant other and myself in general. There's just some things that don't need to be shared, and this is one of them. So then when this health stuff came up, I was really angry. I was like, why me? Like, things just started to feel normal. Why can't I seem to catch a break? I just want to work out and I want to feel normal. Again, like, I just want to work out. I want to feel fit. I want to bond over CrossFit with my friends again. I want to, I just want to be confident again. And so this health stuff, I ended up having all these different medication things and all this stuff going on. With that health stuff, I was having really bad food aversions. I thought I had the flu, and I didn't. And so I basically spent an entire month eating pizza rolls, chugging ginger ale, just eating cheese fries. It was a month of just garbage. Even a little bit over a month. It was just stuff that I would try and go eat vegetables and meat, and it was just so gross to me. I was just, and this was just awful. This was the cherry on top. This was something I was so angry about. And because I was going to stay private about this health issue, because I was going to keep it private, I felt so isolated. And I isolated myself. I knew that this was something that I just wanted to keep between me and my significant other, my 2 very, very best friends, and that was all I was going to keep it to. I didn't even take it to my family. I didn't take it to more of my friends. I really kept it very private. And I shared on Instagram that I was going through this thing, just to put it out there that it's just, everyone, I feel at some point in their life is going to go through something that rocks them, that challenges them to their core, of making them look at themselves and think without these things, who am I going to be? And that's what this ended up becoming about, without CrossFit, who am I? Without fitness in general, who am I? Without the perfect nutrition and fueling myself for health, who am I? Because one day when, maybe it's when I go through momhood, maybe all of those changes are going to challenge me in a way that is going to be similar to all of this that I've been going through. I really don't know. So that carried on. Whether it was from the panic attacks to the health issues, then to having zero confidence in myself as someone that cares about health and fitness, all of these things ended up being a big source of anxiety and depression for me, and I avoided the gym, didn't go to the gym for around 3 months, discounting a couple of the days here and there where I would attempt to go to the gym, but yeah, it was 3 months of really seeing who am I about if I am not perfect in my health and fitness? It's just very challenging, especially when you share that side with people and people see you as that one image. It's hard. So coming back from that, there was also some trials in there where, you know, because I had isolated myself to my significant other and my two very best friends, my other friends weren't talking to me. I kind of lost connection with other people, and that was another thing. It just like everything just kept adding up, and being this kind of like shithole of a year. Like it just seemed like everywhere I turned and anytime I went to take like a step and look at the sun and feel better, it just seemed like it was just pouring rain again and I was never gonna win. So now that I'm feeling better, health issues are kind of out the door. I spent some serious time slowing down with Max. He was programming me very slow strength building things. That way I wouldn't just jump right back into CrossFit and get hurt. And so that I could also like repair the amount of sitting that I was doing. So I was also going on a lot more long walks with Riggs, really leaning on him during all of this stuff over the past year and a half. And yeah, so I took it slow getting back into the gym, getting to a point where I could, you know, feel a little bit healthier and feel confident about hopping into class again without being injured. And so now I'm back. I just feel good. I am trying to get back into a groove, which has been the hardest part. It was like last week where I really had another breakdown and I was just like, what is wrong with me? This used to be my favorite part of my day. I used to really enjoy this time of my day, and now because of like friendships and the transition that I've gone through and the past year, like I just didn't look forward to going to the gym anymore. And that's just like the worst feeling. I feel like I'm just gonna keep saying that, but I want you guys to know, like, if anybody watched this video that went through anything remotely similar or a difficult time that usually prioritizes their health and fitness, that was tested and pushed in a way where they could not care about it, I know that this stuff will resonate with you. Because I didn't just like, you know, strap on my boots and get back to it and say, all right, suck it up, just like keep getting on your way. Like I felt every bit of all of this and really struggled. It was like every single week I was trying a little bit more. And last week I had been on vacation, which was a nice way to split things up for me, or 2 weeks ago now. Wow, it's been 2 weeks since Tulum. So yeah, like 2 weeks ago I was in Tulum, and that was a great way to like, you know, journal on the plane ride and like read and connect back with myself and like take an actual relaxing trip and know that like when I come home I can choose to do things a little bit differently. I really needed that break, and the week when I came home I was like trying to work out and I just like wanted to cry. I was just like, I hate this. Like why do I not want to do this? And I sobbed to Max the one night. I just like cried in his arms and I'm just like, I used to love this so much. Like this was my favorite part of my day without hesitation. Like what is wrong with me? When and will I ever feel like that again? So then I was like, well, you know what? Like, I know that a good way for me to immerse myself in something again is to truly do that. To just go ahead and immerse myself. And so right now I had been working off of my own red, yellow, green habit goals that I encourage clients to do, which is picking something that's moderately hard, that might take you a lot of planning to reach. That would be the red goal. The yellow goal being just a little bit of a step under that, like it's hard to reach, but you can get it done if you try. And the green goal being like no-brainer, check the box, this is something you can do every day. That's how I started getting myself back into things, which was really helpful because I could pick every single day like what those things felt like. It didn't have to be like the gym was a non-negotiable every day, or like give myself that sort of tough love, because I didn't need tough love at this time. Like through all of this, I didn't need any tough love. I needed security, I needed confidence, I needed my hand to be held. And I needed to just like know that eventually I was gonna come out of this. So each day choosing a red, yellow, green really helped me. Some days that was, eating more fruits and vegetables. Some days that was only eating food from home. Some days it was going to the gym. Other days it was a long walk or journaling. This really supported me in like getting back to things and feeling like a healthy human being and not just like a garbage pile that sits on the couch and cries all day. So after I did that last week, I truly felt better going into this week, and I just was having more mindset changes and it felt easier. Like Sunday, I hung out with Max and my best friend Kelsey, and I was just saying like, tomorrow's the day. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be back on track and it's gonna be awesome and things are gonna feel so good. No matter what, I'm just gonna stick to 2 weeks every day, showing up to the gym, tracking my food, and meditating. Those are 3 core things that make me feel structured, organized, and on track. And while I'm really sore and logistically, somebody would be like, that's obsessive, you shouldn't go every day, or if you're sore, just take a rest day, or you should take a rest day, I need to immerse myself, and I know that checking off a box every single day for the next 2 weeks will get me back into that routine. It will get me over this rut of feeling like I don't want to be there, or allowing myself to stay in a comfortable spot, which is on my couch and crying to my dog. Guys, I don't know. I think that something to take away from this video is that I continuously have new clients, and the whole conversation of them going through a difficult time or not working out anymore. This whole year, I have been able to build up my empathetic muscles a little bit more because I've been able to experience hard, anxious feeling, depressive kind of things that I now am more understanding, and it was all meant to be this way. So yeah, I just think when you are in a tough time, sometimes I think our natural instinct is to ignore it, don't feel this, just ignore it, just keep pushing through, get through this time, tough love, get over yourself, just get up, keep moving, just keep going. That's another voice in our head. It's kind of like the devil on our shoulder, and that devil can sometimes be a really good thing and really push us to persevere, such as this 2-week thing that I'm doing. But then sometimes there's this shoulder that you need that cradle, and it's just why don't you just sit here for a while and feel this? Because all of this really is going to catapult you into a more empathetic and understanding person, and everything that we go through is just bringing us closer to who we are if we let ourselves be that way. God, I know so many 50-plus-year-olds that haven't let themselves feel emotions during trying times, or have not let themselves go through the hard things. They've just kind of put it in a pocket somewhere and compartmentalized it and left it alone, and now it's coming back up when they're 50+ years old, and I just don't want to be there. I want to work through things, and that's what I'm doing. So life chat wise, this is what I've got. I don't have any structure around it. I hope, if anything, it was helpful to hear somebody like me that is a nutrition coach that helps people with their health and fitness goals, that talks to people about working out every day, or eating healthy and prioritizing a healthy lifestyle, to struggle with something and to actually struggle with that thing and not just ignore it and be obsessive compulsive about healthy behaviors, because that in itself would have been unhealthy for me to just push things aside. And I'm totally better because of it. It taught me a lot about the way that I show up to friends. When not many people were checking on me, to like see if I was okay, and instead just kind of like talking about me behind my back, about me being distant. I just learned like the friend in my life that is not being present and the friend in my life that is being a little bit more quiet or does not seem like their normal selves, I'm going to check in. Instead of talking shit like I normally would, or like past me would have, just like assumed and created a story about that person, I'm going to check in, because I wish that more people had done this during this time of my life. You know, like it had been bubbled up from like different people that are like mutually friends or acquaintances saying like, oh, so-and-so told me that, you know, you like your posts have been so depressing and like wanting to know if you're okay. And my thought was like, why doesn't this person just check on me? Why don't they just ask themselves, you know? Like, and that came up in so many different scenarios that I just realized like, I am never going to be this type of friend anymore. I've been that person where I just make stories up and I'd rather believe my story of like, they just don't like me, or, you know, maybe they just like really don't want to be here, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, I want to just be confrontational and understand what a person is going through instead of just creating a story and living in it. And I think that if you are struggling, talk out loud. You know, I could have done a better job at talking with more friends in a circle and like really looping more people in, because I would have felt less alone and there wouldn't have been room for anybody to create a story about like what's going on with me. But realistically, like talking out loud, like even if you set up a phone and talk about the stuff out loud as if you're telling somebody your story, it feels so good. You know, like to get things out, whether it was journaling or I was voice recording myself on my phone, or calling my friends super often, or really being open with Max, or if it's therapy, whatever it is, just like talking out loud feels so good. And sharing like what you're going through is never the wrong thing to do. So as depressing as my Instagram has probably seemed, I'm like doing really good, and I feel like I just feel good. Like all of these things were so necessary for me to go through, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the next year, and I'm so thankful that I was put through like stressful situations, and I never thought that I would be able to just be like, yeah, I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful that I've gone through all these things, but like I truly am. And meditation has helped with that. Journaling has helped with that. Leaning into a support system has helped with that. Sharing, letting myself feel and just being truthful with and connecting with myself and my feelings has really made me feel that thankfulness. So yeah, I don't know, guys. If you are in a tough place, I highly suggest to share, to connect with people. It's why I recommend therapy so much too, because you have an unbiased party in your life that can just listen to you talk about whatever it is. You don't even need to have some like serious issue going on. You can just talk. But you can do more therapy things, right? Like cooking is very therapeutical for me. The different recipes I've been trying and like posting about make me really happy. They, you know, put me in a creative zone instead of just swiping and scrolling and whatever else. Going on long walks. I don't know. There's just so many things that like some days I force myself to do, and you know, countless days in a row, I wouldn't be able to get off the couch or out of my bed. But I want everyone that's going through something that challenges their ego and challenges their character, and their self-image, I want them to go through it, like, so they can just come out and close that chapter and really be done with it and move on. Because I feel like when we don't truly dive into what is going on with us, that we really create space for, you know, things to settle in dis-ease in the future. And yeah, but that's about it, guys. That's it for this week's live chat. I'm sure that as I start doing these more often, that they will be a little bit more structured and a less ums and thinking and randomness. But I think that for the first one, this was necessary. The messiness, the talking, the details, the things that I'm sharing with you guys was so necessary, because I've had a lot of people wondering what is going on and just talking to other people about it instead of talking to me. And this was a good way to share with you guys. And if you are in a bad place right now, if you used to really love working out and really felt comfortable in your skin and used to feel really confident no matter what your age, I see you, I hear you, I totally get you, and I understand. And I hope that you find it in yourself to share with someone and connect with somebody and be truthful and share your vulnerability about it, so that you can find healing and that you can take a step forward. Because the confidence and the energy and the happiness that has come out of going back to the gym and being back in a healthy environment has been unparalleled to anything else. It's the best feeling. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I will see you next Sunday. I don't know if I'm ever going to post the recap from Tulum. I just kind of didn't get enough video content. I'm not really sure. So maybe in the future, I'm not really sure at all, but all I know is that I'm really enjoying doing this YouTube stuff with you guys. I love sharing in this way. I love being able to give you more than 2,200 characters, and I love being able to just connect with you more so in real life, because that is what I'm always aiming to do through these platforms. If you like this video, I know I didn't give you any like specific tools. If you like this video, please like it, please share it. I love when you tag me in your stories of you watching me on YouTube. It is like such a surreal, awesome feeling. And above all, subscribe. I mean, these things they take time to make, and I hope that I can continue enjoying it for you guys. Thanks guys, I'll talk to you next week.